Hey there, and welcome back to the Dream Careers Podcast. My name's Craig, your host, and today we're diving into a topic that might be hitting home closer than you realize: the comfort zone. Now, let me start with a question for you. How comfortable are you right now in your career? Maybe things feel steady, predictable, even easy. But let me tell you something: that comfort might actually be the biggest obstacle standing between you and the career that you truly want. So, in this episode today, we're going to break it all down and why staying in your comfort zone is dangerous, how it holds you back from growth, and most importantly, the exact steps you need to take to break free. But here's the real kicker: this episode is not just about your career. Your comfort zone impacts every area of your life, whether it's your personal growth, your relationships, long term happiness. When you're stuck in a rut, it can affect it all. By the end of this episode, you'll be well equipped with tools and strategies to push past fear, take meaningful risks, and make the kind of progress you've been dreaming about. And hey, if this episode resonates with you, don't keep it to yourself. I'd love if you could share this with someone who could use a push too. All right, let's get started. So, what exactly is the comfort zone? The comfort zone is this invisible bubble we all create around ourselves. Inside the bubble, everything feels safe, familiar, and manageable. It's your standard routine, the task you can do with your eyes closed, the environments where you never feel challenged. Sounds pretty cozy, right? But here's the catch: nothing grows inside the comfort zone. It's like a plant sitting in the shade, no sunlight, no growth. And over time, that cozy bubble can actually become a prison. The problem is, the comfort zone doesn't feel harmful at first. It can actually feel good. You're not failing, you're not struggling, you're not stressed. But here's what you are: stagnant. Imagine a stream that stops flowing. At first, it's still and peaceful. But over time, it becomes murky, stale, and lifeless. That's what happens to your career when you stay in the comfort zone for too long. You stop learning, you stop innovating, you stop moving forward. And here's something wild: the comfort zone isn't just physical or situational, it's mental too. You might avoid those challenging conversations. You might shy away from pursuing a dream or settling for good enough. But deep down, you know you're capable of more. Now let's get real about why the comfort zone is so dangerous. Reason one: it limits your potential. When you stay in your comfort zone, you're essentially putting a cap on your growth. You'll never know what you're truly capable of if you only do what feels safe. Think about it. No one ever achieved greatness by playing it safe. Athletes don't break records by sticking to the same workouts. Innovators don't change industries by sticking to what they know. Reason two: it breeds complacency. And here's where things get a little tricky. Because the longer you stay comfortable, the harder it becomes to leave. You start settling for mediocrity because it's easier than putting yourself out there. But here's the thing: complacency is the enemy of success. And reason three: it leads to regret. Now, this one hurts. This one stings. Because years down the line, you might look back and realize you've missed countless opportunities because you were too comfortable. And trust me, the pain of regret is far worse than the discomfort of taking a risk. I want to pause here and ask you to reflect. Is there something you've always wanted to do but haven't, simply because it felt too risky? If the answer is yes, I've got news for you. That's your comfort zone holding you back. So if the comfort zone is so dangerous, why do we stay in it? The answer lies in our psychology. One of our biggest reasons is fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of embarrassment. Our brains are wired to avoid risk because our ancestors' risk often meant danger. But in today's world, taking a career risk won't lead you to a life or death situation. At worst, it might face a setback. But even then, that's an opportunity to learn. Here's another trap. The comfort zone feels safe. You know what to expect, and that predictability feels reassuring. But the truth is, staying comfortable is a risk in itself. You risk losing opportunities, falling behind, or becoming irrelevant even. And then there's society. Maybe you've been told to play it safe. Stick to the stable job. Don't take those unnecessary risks. But whose definition of safe are you following? At the end of the day, your career is your journey, and you owe it to yourself to live it on your terms. All right, let's talk about situations and solutions to them. Breaking out of your comfort zone isn't easy, but it's absolutely worth it. I've got 6 steps for you right now. Step 1, identify what your comfort zone is. The first step is absolutely awareness. Take a hard look at your career and ask yourself, where have I gotten too comfortable? Is it in daily tasks, my skill set, or even mindset? Step 2, take small steps. Now, you don't have to run before you walk. You don't have to make massive changes overnight. Start small. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting, reaching out to someone you admire, or tackling a project that challenges you. Number 3, embrace discomfort as growth. Discomfort isn't something to fear. It's a signal that you're growing. When you feel that uneasiness, remind yourself, this is where the magic happens. Step 4, set bold goals. Goals are a fantastic way to push your limits. If public speaking terrifies you, set a goal to give a presentation. If you're hesitant about building connections and networking, aim to connect with 3 new people this month. Step 5, build a support system. Find people who will encourage and challenge you. Mentors, peers, or even a coach. Having a support system makes stepping outside your comfort zone less daunting. And 6, reflect and celebrate. Finally, take the time to reflect on your progress and celebrate your wins, because every step forward is a victory, no matter how small. Let me share you a story that might inspire you. One of my clients, we'll call her Sarah. She was stuck in a job that she didn't love, but she also didn't hate. She wanted more, but was terrified of starting over. So we mapped out a plan. She'd take an online course. She'd network in her target industry and apply for roles that excited her. It wasn't easy, and there were setbacks. But today, Sarah is in a thriving career that she loves. She told me, Craig, the hardest part was taking the first step, but it's also the best decision I've ever made. Now, her story isn't unique, but it's proof that stepping outside your comfort zone can change your life. So there you have it. Your comfort zone might be killing your career, but the good news is you have the power to escape it. So if this episode struck a chord with you, take one small step today to challenge yourself. Maybe it's saying yes to something new, setting a bold goal, or simply reflecting on where you've got too comfortable. Thanks for joining me today on the Dream Careers podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep growing, keep challenging yourself, and keep building your dream career.